this is the single most important debate that we can discuss during this parliament session. It not only affects our current children, but generations to come. So there is no way that we can take this lightly. Even if we have to debate it until tomorrow, we should. I think we should do that.
Or a point of information. Yes, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, the debate on this issue is timed, and there is no reason why we should be cutting it short ahead of its time. And in fact, members are very keen to debate this, Mr. Speaker, because understandably, more than anything else, this has a bearing on how we are bringing up our children, how we are running our businesses, how we are interacting with each other. And Mr. Speaker, this is a debate that is right for a time such as this, Mr. Speaker. Let it run its due course, Mr. Speaker, so that this House may be able to pronounce it.
Order, Honorable KJ, you are taking valuable time from the Madam Deputy Speaker. The chair has pronounced to the same. Thank you for...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think what Honorable KJ is still important. I think it cannot be emphasized enough. And we must tell ourselves, it may look like something we're taking lightly. But when you look at the way AI is operating, or any of those apps, including TikTok, they have the potential to actually endanger national security. They endanger data privacy. And we must regulate it. And like we said, we are not banning it. We must regulate it so that we can protect our children, we can protect the vulnerable users, and we can only do this if we take charge of it. We cannot have a situation where our entire population can be controlled by an algorithm or somebody using trolls and bots and all those, to be able to control the psyche, the thinking, and even create biases in our population. That would be akin to allowing the extinction of future generations. And when we say we want to regulate it, there must be strict oversight. We must talk about data localization. We must also be able to block access to certain sensitive information. And also, there is even potential misuse by which includes espionage on a country. It can also track the location of your population, including those who have sensitive information. For example, our army, our police, our intelligence service, even the movements of our military. It also has the potential, if it's uncontrolled, for it to spread propaganda in the country. It can also be used to suppress dissent. So those who are human rights activists and civil rights activists know that it's also important to protect democracy. It can sway public opinion. It can allow a foreign country or a foreign agency to mislead and control the minds of your population. It is more dangerous than a full-fledged war against a state. And when we talk about regulating it, we are telling ourselves, we'll regulate it by regulating the content, we'll regulate the misuse and abuse, we will regulate the disinformation and misinformation, we will regulate even through fines, so that if one is involved in deep fakes, in misinformation, we can then fine that country. And we've seen debates that have gone on in the US where they're saying they can fine the organization up to 20% of its turnover, so that we can deter the allowing of this. Again, when we talk about regulating TikTok and these apps, we are telling ourselves we are also protecting the mental health of our children and future generations. It has been confirmed by science that it's causing attention deficiency in our children. It is disrupting sleep. It is making them have eating disorders. Some of them have even been involved in harming themselves because they've been psyched that they should be a certain way, behave a certain way, go to certain places, look at themselves in a certain way. And this has caused children to have self-doubt and to not have self-esteem. Hence the reason why we said some suicides have been related to these social media applications. Also, and this debate is not just happening in Kenya. It's happening in Denmark. It's happening in Australia. And even not so long ago, the US Supreme Court upheld the regulation of these apps by the country. It said that the country or the nation has a constitutional right to protect their citizens from being controlled by such applications. But we are not saying that some of these applications are not good. They are good and can be used for good. They can be used to promote better farming activities. They can be used for teaching. They can be used for spreading certain national values and so on. But it can only, the beneficial use can only be realized if we stop and regulate the misuse and the abuse of it. And in closing, I'd like to say, anybody can look at what happened in Romania last year. In Romania last year, 2 persons who were the winner and the runner-up of presidential elections and who declared that they spent no money on the election, had thousands and millions of TikTok accounts, which were controlled from a foreign country. And in fact, because the algorithm they had was able to manipulate the minds of people, they were elected against a political party that had been around for more than 40 years. It just tells you the power that this has on our people. And when people were interviewed and asked, do you know this person? Have you ever met them? Have you ever heard them speak? They said no. They just were seeing it on TikTok that was flooding. So if people are in a farming region,
allow her to
and those who are in farming regions, they were getting messages that were skewed to catch their attention. If people were in the city, they were getting messages that were skewed to that. It was so bad that that election had to be nullified. And the entire European Union rallied behind Romania. And they managed, thanks to their Supreme Court, to nullify it, and they went to the extent of the European Court of Justice, and it was declared that that election was null and void because it was won through misinformation and disinformation campaigns and not by telling people the truth. So as Kenyans, we must be very, very, very afraid. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Bowen.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to join my colleagues and to support the motion that, Mr. Speaker, the social media platforms in the country, Mr. Speaker, has become the source of misinformation and disinformation. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, there is need to regulate, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as a country, Kenya is not a lawless country, Mr. Speaker. And this House, Mr. Speaker, as the Legislative House, Mr. Speaker, we need to come up with the laws, with policies and regulations, Mr. Speaker, that will guide our society and guide our generation, Mr. Speaker, in terms of the use of social media. Mr. Speaker, we cannot say the social media, to an extent, it's good, Mr. Speaker. We have many young people who have earned their living through the social media in terms of marketing and many other positive things, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, the negative effects brought by the social media, Mr. Speaker, especially the TikTok, Mr. Speaker, is so immense, Mr. Speaker, that as a country, we need to come up with the regulations so that, Mr. Speaker, as we use this, because, Mr. Speaker, we cannot run away from technology. Technology, Mr. Speaker, we need to move as the world moves with the technology, Mr. Speaker. As a country also, we should not be left behind. And these are the technological issues, Mr. Speaker, which we need to deal with, and we need to deal through regulations. Mr. Speaker, if you check many of the content you see in TikTok, Mr. Speaker, and you know, it exposes our young people, the school-going children, Mr. Speaker, to a very bad things. Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate the committee and even the petitioner who brought this petition to this House, Mr. Speaker, that we are going to deal not only to the TikTok, Mr. Speaker, but all other social media platforms, including the Facebook, the YouTubes, and all other, Mr. Speaker, so that we are not doing away, but we regulate them so that we can use it prudently as a country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the recently photos we saw on the TikTok, which is through the Russian fellow, Mr. Speaker, if we had a regulations as a country, through our laws, through the CAK, Mr. Speaker, those contents should have been blocked out. It should not be exposed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the social media and even the data, Mr. Speaker, is now a security concern. It is a security issue in our country, Mr. Speaker. So, which we cannot allow, Mr. Speaker, to just be run freely without any regulations. So we want to ask our young people, we want to clear the air to our young people outside there, Mr. Speaker, that we are not going to ban these social media platforms. But, Mr. Speaker, we want to bring legislation, we want to bring policies, we want to bring regulation so that how these social media are used is going to be beneficial to them and not to be harmful to the community and also to the young generation to come. So, Mr. Speaker, as a country, Mr. Speaker, I think there is also need through the Ministry of ICT, Mr. Speaker, to have a cyber security center. As a country, Mr. Speaker, we need to up our game in the cyber security space to make sure that, Mr. Speaker, what comes in or what is being consumed by our people or even in our country, Mr. Speaker, is something which has been filtered and it is very secure to our people. Because, Mr. Speaker, the TikTok, the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitter, and all those, Mr. Speaker, they are not a Kenyan, these are not a Kenyan creation, Mr. Speaker. These are things which are beyond our borders. They are beyond us because they are beyond our control. It's controlled elsewhere. So, and the only thing we can do as a country, Mr. Speaker, is to come up with the laws so that we regulate what comes into our country, what is being consumed, and those which are threat to our national security, threat to our social justice, Mr. Speaker, and threat to our normal behaviors, Mr. Speaker, are filtered out or they are blocked. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to join my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, to say I support this motion, I support the petition, Mr. Speaker, and not only honorable members, that we leave it at this point as a motion. As the committee of petition, Mr. Speaker, I want
You have half a minute.
Yes. I was concluding saying, Mr. Speaker, we should not leave it here, even as we approve as a motion, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask the chair of the committee or petition, Mr. Speaker, to enhance this motion, Mr. Speaker, to a legislation, so that now we can, our debate here cannot be just an exercise in futility, but we translate it to a legislation which is going to manage all this social media. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Madam Wamuchomba, followed by the MP for Yatta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am very, very excited to get this opportunity to support this report. I have listened to the report submissions. I have read the report, Mr. Speaker.